Hello everyone, welcome to the 52 Blue Vinyl Experience review for Khalid's 2017 debut studio album, American Teen. We'll take a dive into the vinyl experience of this great album and its physical contents. As discussed in the album review podcast, Khalid's debut album was released on March 3, 2017 after the release of his first official promotional single, Location. The vinyl is produced and distributed by Right Hand Music Group of RCA, and they've done a great job with this presentation, as you'll see. As a reminder, you can join our Blue Vinyl Club and receive a copy of this and every Record of the Month vinyl throughout the year by becoming a supporting member through our Patreon page. Details in the description below. The release of Location was nothing short of successful, as it peaked number 16 on the Billboard's Top Hot 100, and by the time of the release of the physical album, it debuted with 37,000 sales, of which about 12,000 were in physical format, which is actually not bad for a debut album. However, American Teen was certified platinum in October 2017, having sold over 1 million copies in less than a year. Personally, I like the presentation of this vinyl as it keeps a very clean and stylized aesthetic throughout. As we explained in the album review, the total runtime is 54.5 minutes, which forced the vinyl presentation to be in a double disc format, which allows for more visual elements to be present. We did mention that in contrast with last month's Record of the Month by LCD Soundsystem, there is clear evidence that the track listing was not necessarily driven by the vinyl format, thus giving us a bit less cohesive experience while listening to the album in full. However, there are a good mix of tracks and a good ebb and flow with each side that keeps the experience entertaining. So with that said, let's go ahead and dive in. The presentation of the album is very well stylized, and it has a lot of visual elements, particularly because it features prominent pictures of Khalid himself in all white, very contrasting surroundings with just a very simple and clean look. The centerfold becomes a full picture, which is pleasing to see. It has a lot of aesthetic elements to it, and then each individual sleeve will also have a prominent picture of Khalid himself. And then on the back side of the sleeve, we have the track listing of the album itself. Has all the information in terms of location, where it was recorded, producers, writers, and other information pertinent to all the tracks. We go into the following sleeve. We see yet another prominent picture of Khalid, again with the backdrop of the car, and it seems like a place kind of like Joshua Tree-esque place. And by flipping this one, we actually have basically a letter or dedication directly from Khalid explaining his story and why and how he got into music, and those who believed in him and those who supported him to become such an artist. I actually really like this part. I think it gives a little bit more intimacy in it, and it creates a connection with the artist, with the music, and it just changes the perspective of what you're listening to. Kind of like how a video sometimes changes the perception that you have from what you envision or imagine when you're listening to a track before having seen the video. This actually adds or changes the flavor itself, and I think it benefits a lot of the tracks on this album. On the back side of the cover, we have another very prominent picture of Khalid himself and the track listing for each one of the sides on the discs. Like I said, this track listing doesn't necessarily seem like it's meant to be in that specific order when playing the vinyl, as opposed to other albums that do have a dedicated track list. However, it works very well. I think that the emphasis is not necessarily on one or another side, but rather it's just a mellow experience throughout the whole album itself. It does have a good number of tracks and does merit the double vinyl format. That being said, I think it could have been arranged a little bit different if the vinyl format was indeed the driver for the track listing, which it wasn't, and it doesn't have to be. I think it still delivers on a great musical experience. So with that being said, this is a great album. It does have and provide a great listening experience when you're listening through the vinyl format. Khalid's music is very intricate. It has a lot of details. Some of the tracks do sound a little bit more mainstream, but I think that his talent and vision is actually well portrayed with the physical format and the listening experience of the songs themselves. Thank you for watching. If you enjoy these videos, be sure to like and subscribe to get updates when new videos and podcast episodes are released. We thoroughly enjoy presenting these to you and give you an insight of what it is to own the physical format of this album and every Record of the Month album. And if you'd like to receive a copy, become a Patreon supporter through our Blue Vinyl Club tier membership.